Welcome along to this week's edition of the Lowe Down. In the studio, alongside me, the two Robbies. Robbie Earle, Robbie Mustoe. I'm Rebecca Lowe. 5 questions, 30 seconds to answer each one. Don't know what they are. They're about the weekend's football. Let's go.
We're going to start at Tottenham Hotspur, Rebecca. Another defeat for Tottenham.
No.
Who's under more pressure at this football club, Ange Postecoglou or Daniel Levy?
Well, it's always Ange Postecoglou. It's always the manager. You know, I mean, because Daniel Levy just doesn't do pressure, does he? Because as soon as there's a little bit of pressure, he fires the manager.
But we saw the banner today, didn't we, about how many managers...
I feel like there's been banners before. Yeah, 24 years, 16 managers, 1 trophy. I think there's been pressure. He doesn't like that. He won't like that. We talked about that today off camera, didn't we? When those sort of banners start coming out, they're asking for a change in ownership. He'll just change the manager. So, of course, there's more pressure on Ange Postecoglou's shoulders, but there should be the pressure on Daniel Levy's shoulders. It is nearly the end of the transfer window, and he has not given his manager anything. And if you read between the lines with Ange Postecoglou, he's really trying to toe the party line. He's really trying to say, you know, the club are really doing their best. But then he also says, it'd be kind of crazy if we didn't get anyone, but they're really doing their best. He's really trying to be diplomatic, because we know what happens if you're not. Pochettino didn't like it, went. Conte didn't like it, went. So he's really trying to stay in a job right now. He has more pressure on his shoulders, which is not right. You should have some, though, but... Yeah.
OK, question number 2. Did Pep Guardiola make the right decision subbing off Abdulkadir Kuzanov, the young defending signer, early in the second half? Had a bit of a rough start to the game.
That's a good question. A bit of a rough start. It was awful. I mean, I think as a mum, I've completely changed the way I am about other humans. I just imagine that's my kid, and I'm imagining his mum in the stand watching what happened in the first 10 minutes of that game. He looked... According to somebody who was there, he was actually trembling at one point on the field. That's what I heard. I mean, that is... I think it was Gary Neville who said that. He was there, he said he was trembling. Yeah, yes, he had to take him off because he's on a yellow card as well. And the absolute cherry on the flipping Sunday...
Should he have done it at half-time?
Would have been...
Well, I think
would have been that he got sent off.
You want to just give him a little bit of a run out second half and then do it?
Half-time. The problem with the half-time is I think that...
Bit hard.
It's just
you know what it doesn't do? You know what? But you know what it doesn't do? If you take him off at half-time, he doesn't get the round of applause, which actually I think he needed. I think he was fighting back tears, but I think the City fans wanted to show him love. He's 20 years old. The kid's going to get better. He's fine. He's going to be fine. But maybe that from Pep was, you know what? I'll take you off, but I'm going to allow you to see what the fans think of you and that everything's going to be OK. So actually, I think I'm OK with that. But, oh, my God, my heart broke for that kid. Broke his little face.
The Tricky Trees, Nottingham Forest, got beat 5-0 by Bournemouth this weekend. Yeah. Was that an outlier, or was that maybe a case of reality catching up with this team squad? Yeah,
I'm looking at the table. I mean, it's definitely an outlier in terms of results. I mean, I don't think they're going to lose 5-0 again this season. Bournemouth are just incredible right now. I think, though, and I really don't want it to be, but we've seen it before over the years when, you know, a disruptor enters the top 4, often 2/3 of the way into the season, the fall away begins. It doesn't have to be dramatic and huge. It doesn't have to... I'm not saying they're going to end up in the bottom half. It might just be the beginning of a slight fall away for Forest, which maybe sees them still finish top 7, and that would still be amazing. The problem is when you start a season... Leicester did it under Brendan Rodgers, in that top 4 for so many weeks, virtually, I think, every week almost, and then dropped out on the final day, I think, 2 years in a row. It's almost like you give your fans so much, and then if you then fall away, then the feeling is terrible at the end of the season. Whereas if you'd started sort of 8th, 7th, and finished, you know, 6th, 5th, it's a completely different feeling. So I hope not for them, but I fear so. It might be a slight falling away.
OK, next question. Arsenal. Who should be their top target before the transfer window closes?
Oh, gosh.
Or what position?
Well, a striker. I mean, striker. But the problem is they've left it so late to get somebody that I think can really make an impact. Because there's an argument you're not going to get Isak on January the 1st, let alone January 31st, right? Or February 3rd is the last day of the transfer window. Isak has to be their top target. Sesko at RB Leipzig. No one's going to let any of these players go. So I do understand how difficult it is as they're searching, trying to get themselves a striker. Maybe, just maybe, they should try and prize a Brian Mbeumo out of Brentford.
Or Wissa? Do you like Wissa for that?
Wissa's a little older.
Squad player.
I love them both. I think they're both brilliant. They're both excellent, really underrated. I don't think you're going to get either. This is the problem. January's horrible. But if you can just tempt Brentford a little bit with one of them, because they have got the other one, you know, and they've got some decent forward line, Brentford. I just think it's strange that nobody sniffs around Brian Mbeumo, myself. I don't know what you'd have to pay. Could you get him for less than 50? You probably could, maybe, just. And he's 25, and he's regular goal scorer. Just at least as somebody for now to try and push for the title, and then use as a squad player.
João Pedro, Brighton.
Forward.
Another chuck on that. João Pedro, clever, skillful.
I don't think he's quite as prolific. Not quite as prolific, and more injury prone than Brian Mbeumo. That's what I go for. Yeah.
Good shout. You've got to bear with me on this one. So we're in the Premier League. You're manager of NBC FC.
Wow, amazing.
The transfer window's closing. You've got a week to go.
Oh, God.
And you've got to buy one player. Do you buy Robbie Earle or do you buy Robbie Mustoe?
You told me today, you got 40 goals.
Well, I was a different sort of player.
Yeah,
I was a defensive player.
40 goals.
That's not bad for a
in the
defender.
Premier League, right?
No. That's not bad for a defender.
It depends what I need. Do I need box-to-box scurrying around, get sent off sometimes for silly things before his dad's even sat down? Or do I want goal scoring, all action?
I'd be a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
How much? You would be quite
a little bit cheaper.
A lot cheaper.
If I got you, Mustoe, would you bring Kazzy and all of her cakes?
Oh, yeah. Full package.
Deal done. Full package. I'll take Robbie Mustoe and Kazzy to bring the cakes. That's the easiest answer.
Good answer. Good answer.
Sorry, Rob. Especially sorry, Rob, because tomorrow is your big day. I should have picked Robbie Earle. Tomorrow, Robbie Earle turns the big 6-0. I'm sorry if you're not sharing that, but I am sharing that because that is a massive day for you.
Happy birthday, my
friend. Cam's brought the cake, and we wanted to say a massive happy birthday, Rob, because we love you to bits. You're one of the best people everyone here has ever met, and I don't say that lightly, right, Rob?
We love you to bits, mate. You are Robbie #1 for sure.
I did
forever.
Get picked in NBC FC though.
No, but Kazzy's a game changer, to be fair. We're going to cut the cake in your honour.
Thank you, everybody, so much.
Happy birthday,
big
Glad you've not put 60 candles on. Fire alarm would be going off.
Oh, everyone wish Robbie Earle a happy birthday for tomorrow. And don't forget, you can hear the two Robbies on their podcast. It's always available for you on the NBC Sports YouTube channel. We're about to record another one. The tactics session, Premier League update with all of the goals every day is on there as well. Plus this show, The Lowe Down. We will see you next week. Bye-bye. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And if you want even more Premier League content from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.